Thank you for listening to the Pull It Back podcast. Now here are your hosts, Mike and Andy.
All right, welcome to the Pull It Back podcast. It's just me this time. It's just Mike. I'm actually missing the Packers game for this recording because for some reason I had my MacBook and I was trying to plug in the microphones and get all this stuff set up, and for some reason it wasn't recognizing, and I was like, oh, maybe it's because I updated, and I should have fucking known better not to update this shit. Every time I update, something goes wrong with this fucking computer. But anyways, I got it up and working. It's all good to go now. I'm going to pull up the Packers game because I'm still going to watch it. I'm just... took almost 3 hours to get this shit set up. So, do pardon. I'm going to go ahead. All right, I'm getting the Packers game pulled up because I'm not going to not watch it because of you guys. To appease and entertain you. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, Packers game, got it. All right, I just wanted to go off on my own little tangent here, just going solo, just for this episode. I wanted to briefly talk about rabbit holes and being on YouTube and whatnot. I know just recently I went down a few rabbit holes, like lock picking. I saw this new guy, the lock picking lawyer, and all he does is just get these metal shims or whatever and just works on picking locks. And I wasted probably maybe a day and a half watching that stuff. And then, of course, I bought a lock picking kit. I started picking locks. And there's just something really satisfying about picking a lock, especially when you have these cheap-ass... and I found that stuff out, too, the master locks. Like the little ones you used to put on your locker, even combination locks, key locks, all of them. They're so easy to pick. I mean, I've never picked a lock in my life. I mean, minus the sticking the credit card thing in the door, but never picked a lock in my life, and I got it down in about, I don't know, a minute and a half. One of those cheap key locks that you get from Master Lock. So, I mean, I was pretty happy of myself. So, but anyways, that's just one of those things, man. You go on YouTube rabbit holes, and you can literally waste half your life watching pointless YouTube videos. Same thing with I watch mousetrap videos, and again, I bought into mousetraps. I bought mousetraps, I bought rat traps, and I put them all over where I work, which is in a warehouse. Put them all over the place. Even set up like night vision cameras and stuff so I could watch in like real life mousetrap. Because another thing is that YouTube would start blocking some of his content. I think his name was Sean Woods or something like that. It was like a mousetrap dude. He tests all these different mousetraps. And again, a huge waste of time, but still interesting. And YouTube just starts blocking some of his content because it's, I guess, dangerous or it's not safe for children's eyes or whatever, which is absolutely ridiculous. I think if you're willing to, if you can't see a mouse get killed in a mousetrap, it's like isn't there like a scientific thing that says that most people are scared of rats and mice, like they have this disgust for them because it can be traced back to the Black Plague, because they were essentially the source of the whole thing. So it's like a evolutionary survival tick that people have. They're just like super scared of mice and rats. And it's like, if you're sad that a rat or a mouse or whatever it may be on YouTube is getting killed, like they're pests. They breed left and right. I mean, they breed like fucking rats. I mean, if you are that much of a crybaby to where you have to go on YouTube and then bitch and complain because a guy, he does it humanely, but then Google steps in and is like, oh, this is too dangerous for young growing minds. but we'll put flat Earth videos all over the internet, and people will just believe that shit. Like, that's not dangerous, right? Whatever. But anyways, going back to the YouTube rabbit hole thing. So I go on rabbit holes like crazy, and I'm sure a lot of people do. I went down the lock picking rabbit hole. I went down mousetrap rabbit holes, and then some of my favorite go-tos is like the dash cam car crash videos. How come 90% of them are in Russia? I know like Russia has this thing where they have like the dash cams are almost mandatory because of insurance fraud and whatnot. But still, man, it's like all of them are in Russia, and they drive like crazy people. And I thought it was bad here in Austin, but I guess Russia it's even worse, man. So I got to stop nitpicking, I guess, with these dumbass drivers. And if you're a dumbass driver here in Austin and you're listening to this, stop it. Just stop it. Anyways, I also went down this really long rabbit hole of watching snake bite videos. Just like idiots going around messing with snakes, and they get bit. You know, it's just the most ridiculous thing to see a grown man fucking with a snake and then getting bit. You know, I just think I wish there was more venomous snakes in the world. You know what I mean? I wish there was more venomous snakes because like potent venomous snakes. Like these people that are fucking around with snakes and then they get bit by one and then they just die like within 5 seconds. Like I don't want it to be a long, painful death, but I mean, it's just like get rid of those people. Because then you would have less people driving like assholes, and then there'd probably less dash cam crash videos. I'm just saying. That's just my IMO, or in my opinion. And speaking of rabbit holes, man, I go down like the Google News. I scroll across that feed, and there's just all kinds of crazy and the part about it, like with reading news articles and stories, is that like I'd say 99% of them have an extremely misleading headline. Like you'll see it and it'll be like, what was it? The most recent one I was reading this one about the Texas Longhorns playing Texas Tech. It was like one of the last games of the regular season before the bowl games and stuff. And you know, last year Sam Ehlinger, the quarterback for Texas Longhorns, said, you know, Texas, we're back. And everybody cheered and screamed and was like, yeah, we're going back to the championship, which obviously didn't happen. We had a 6-5 season. So not excellent. I think it was with the win over Texas Tech, 7-5. I might be wrong. But anyways, he after this game, he was like, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. And, you know, we just got to get better. There's a lot of room for improvement. And like I was reading headlines and they were saying, Sam Ehlinger gets roasted on Twitter or gets smashed or all that bullshit. Because I went through and read the article like a dumbass. I fell for the clickbait. And I scrolled down a little bit, and it's not like he's getting roasted. Like, you're a piece of shit, Sam Ehlinger. That's being roasted. Or like very smart intellectual way of saying like you're falling back on your words. But it was like, nah, Sam Ehlinger last year, we're back. This year, 7-5. Rome wasn't built in a day. I was like, that's not being roasted. That is not being roasted. Like, if that's being roasted to you, maybe you need to go live in Russia for a while. But, I mean, I know it's clickbait because they get money off of advertisements and whatnot, but it's like, dude, you really have to blow it that far out of proportion? You know, but anyways, I was going through Google News. I keep getting sidetracked. See how easy I fall down rabbit holes? Anyways, I fell across this article on Google News, and it was basically saying like, I guess old people are being injected with young people's blood to become young again. It's like the new fountain of youth. But it's just young people's blood. I know they've done like, I remember seeing this stuff where they were like doing tests and they were saying like, yeah, it can actually renew all your organs and it's like, well, how far are old rich people going to go in order to try to be young again? You know? I mean, so I read deeper into it to make this a story. So I wanted to know if this young people's blood being injected into old people's bodies, does it actually work? I'm going to tell you right after the break. All right, and we're back. So to answer the question very quickly, if young people's blood helps old people get young again, it's a resounding no, of course. And I had to get caught up on the Packers game. I just want to let you know. That's why I took a break. Packers 14, Giants 7. Giants are 2-9. They're having a pretty shitty season, man, with old Danny Dimes there. They were just saying that Aaron Rodgers has only thrown 6 interceptions all season. That's incredible. And I was actually talking to quite a few people this past week or two that, you know, the Packers are doing pretty decent this year. I just don't see us ever making the Super Bowl again with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, unfortunately. You know, he's a badass, man. He's excellent quarterback, man, but I just don't see it happening. I just don't think, you know, when he first started, he had that drive. He was like, I got to prove everybody wrong. I'm filling in for Brett Favre. I'm, you know, taking over this shit, like trying to fill the shoes of one of the greatest. So he had that drive to prove everybody wrong, that he was the badass. He was the chosen one. And now he's not, you know, he's already become the greatest. So he might even still make a few runs, man. I just don't see it. I don't see it going all the way ever again. But anyways, back to the blood thing. They did some tests in rats. It was a bit different because basically they fused 2 rats together, like a young rat and an old rat. And like they made them Siamese twins, like some sick science experiment. And over some time, they essentially equalized, like the young blood and organs and whatnot from the young rat shared, I guess, the same body, of course, with the old rat. So they essentially, like I said, equalized. So the old, like, if you had a rat that was 80 years old and a rat that was 20 years old, like they would equal out and be like, what, 50 years old? So, like, you had 2 rats that were essentially 50 physically. So, I mean, old people that are just trying so hard to be young, it's like, just stop it. Just stop it. Put lotion on your skin daily. You don't have to keep injecting your face with all this shit and then trying to inject yourself with young people's blood. That's some shit out of South Park. That's like some dystopian future where people are like, they breed these young children and they harvest them for their blood and organs and then put the young shit into old people's bodies. It's like, just stop this shit. Anyways, I fell across this thing, another news article in Google News. It was basically buying a car, the new Fisker Ocean. I don't know if you've heard of Fisker, but Fisker Karma. You know, Ellen DeGeneres gave old Justin Bieber's like a chromed out one for his birthday. I know you guys probably remember that one. If you don't, get with the times, man. Anyways, they gave him a Fisker Karma, and so the Fisker Karma was like this new electric sports car. It had all, like, the leather in it was like vegan leather, and everything in it was recyclable and renewable, and it was supposed to be like the greenest car ever, right? Well, Fisker went bust. I don't know if you know that. And then they got bought out by some other company, and now they're launching a new Fisker Ocean, and it will start at $379 a month under the new subscription service. Yes, subscription service. And I know Volvo did this stuff a little while ago, where they were launching this new, the new Volvo. I think it's the XC40, the smaller SUV, where you can subscribe to it, and you pay like a flat rate. It pays for the car, it pays for your warranty, it pays for the insurance, it pays for all the maintenance. So it's a neat concept. You know what I mean? And same thing with this Fisker Ocean thing. They're trying to follow in the same footsteps. But then I started realizing like everything is on a subscription service now. I mean, absolutely everything is on a subscription service. You can buy furniture on a subscription service. There's this app in particular called Feather. It's $19 a month, and you can basically rent brand, like, well, I mean, it wouldn't be brand new, but it's clean. It's like you rent furniture, and then when you move out of your apartment, they come pick the shit up. So you don't ever have to move. All you have to do is just like, here, come pick up my furniture. They pick it up, they take it away, and then when you move to your new place, they can bring you new ones if you continue your subscription. So none of the furniture ends up in landfills. Again, an awesome concept. But, being that everything is on a subscription service, I was like, this is my opinion. I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist if you haven't guessed already. But this is almost like socialism in the form of subscriptions. I mean, if you think about it, at some point, all of your income is going to go towards subscriptions and everything will be taken care of for you. I mean, you can buy, like I currently even have headphones that are bought under a subscription service. They're $17 a month, and it's essentially rent-to-own headphones for 24 months. And if you don't pay, they turn your headphones off. If I don't want the headphones anymore, I box them up and send them back. No late fees, no cancellation fees, no nothing. So, I mean, it's great. But then you can also buy, like, razors for shaving. You can buy tires for your car on a subscription service. Of course, you can buy food like Blue Apron and all that. Entertainment like Apple TV, Apple Music. You can even buy cell phones on a subscription plan. You can buy clothes on a subscription plan. You can buy coffee. You can buy video games. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Just about anything has some type of subscription service. So basically, if you have your income versus all the subscriptions that you spend, I mean, everything could be taken care of for you. If they have and I'm sure they do, I just haven't found it yet, a subscription service for healthcare, a subscription service for education. If it isn't out there, it's coming. So you got to think, like, all of your income would go towards subscriptions, and that means everything's taken care of for you, which is essentially socialism, isn't it? Or at least communism, I guess. I don't know. I'm not like college educated into this kind of thing, but this is it just seems kind of strange that everything has a subscription. I mean, it's like the new thing to do is to have a subscription. It's just anyways, moving on to this one. I found this one from CNN. It's the world's first cell phone detection cameras. They were rolled out in Australia and in New Zealand. Basically what it's going to do, they're going to have these cameras that are stationary on the side of the roads, and they're also going to have cameras that are like mounted to trailers. And they almost use that same type of software, like facial recognition software that they have like in China and India and all that stuff. And it recognizes a cell phone, and if you're illegally using it behind the wheel of a car. Now, this is another one of those things that you're like giving up some of your privacy in order to be safe. You're trading privacy for safety, and it's like, I'm kind of for it in a way because, even if you illegalize stuff, people are still texting and shit behind the wheel of a car. And if you're going at speed, like, especially here in Texas, speed limits are 70, 80 miles an hour, and people are just fucking texting. Like, you can't wait. I mean, I do it every night when I drive home from work. I'm driving, I see a guy drift out of his lane a little bit and jerk back in. And as soon as you go to pass him, you just see that fucking glow on their face, knowing that they're texting. It's like, you can't wait. You can't wait 10 fucking minutes to go text. Use your voice text, man. Every new smartphone, because it's a smartphone, they got the little touchscreen all lighting up their face. You can't just use your voice to text if you have to text, or just call somebody. So then, anyways, it's become such a freaking problem that now the government, at least in Australia, is launching these cameras to find you, to say, you know what, you're using this phone. We got it. On video. We also have these authorities look over these videos to verify that it is a cell phone. It's being used while you're driving, and then they can fine you. And I mean fine, like send you a ticket or whatever. So it's like, again, I think it's kind of a good idea. You know what I mean? It's not a great idea because, again, I mean, if I go to pull up my phone real quick to, like, I don't know what reason I would need. I mean, I don't really. But I mean, any reason, say you have like I don't know, GPS on your phone, you have an older car, I don't know. But if you pull it up and you get caught with that, that's a ticket. So you need to leave your damn phone down. And it's the people that can't seem to grasp how serious of a situation that is that are making it worse for everybody else. You know what I mean? The people that are like, no, I'm never on my phone. I don't text. I wait, because it doesn't take very long. You get that little ping text message noise, and then somebody's got to grab the phone. It's like that knee-jerk reaction to when you hear that noise, I got to check because somebody's talking to me. But you can wait. That's the point of a text message, is that you can fucking wait. Wait until you get to wherever you're going. Pull off to the side of the road, stop at a gas station, check your text messages, or use your fucking voice to text. That's why they made it. Because you're putting people's lives at risk when you sit there and don't pay attention to the road. You're behind the wheel of a 3-ton vehicle. It's essentially a weapon. Not all cars are going to be super safe. And it's like people think they're just indestructible. They're just like, I'm just going to check my text. I've been doing it for a year and a half. I've been doing it for 3 years. I haven't gotten in a wreck. It's like, yeah, but that's only because everybody else around you has been hopefully paying attention. That's why I try to pay as much attention to the road as possible, because I know if you get 2 of those dumbasses that are not paying attention, those are the ones that get in an accident. Every time now when I hear about an accident, like, hey, Jimmy got in an accident. Yeah, he got rear-ended by a car. My first question, I bet you that other guy was texting, right? Or hell, even a while back, one of our neighbors, God rest his soul, man. That was a pretty fucked up situation, but he rear-ended a school bus, went underneath it, and it killed him. And I was immediately thinking, oh, this guy was probably texting. He probably thought, oh, I've been doing it for years. Not a big problem. I'm young. I got a safe car. But depending on the circumstance, like the bus was trying to turn right, and he was in the right lane following the bus, and I'm assuming he was texting, and then went underneath the bus, and it fucking killed him. He had a wife, and I think he had 2 kids, and he also had no life insurance. So they had this expensive car note, house note, his wife didn't work. So he left his family with nothing, all because he couldn't wait to fucking text. So I'm just saying, man, the people that are out there texting while you're driving, this is the shit that's coming. They're going to start putting cameras everywhere to capture you texting in the sake of safety. So they're going to be able now, I mean, because it's coming. It's coming here. I'm surprised we didn't think of this shit first. But they're going to start putting cameras up everywhere to watch you drive and to text. And if they get, I mean, I was thinking it was going to be the little dash cam. Like they were going to start putting little cameras in the rear view mirror of the car, and it's going to be able to video you every single minute you're in that car, and use AI to tell the government, like wirelessly, of course, to basically tattle on you and say, yeah, I was texting behind the wheel of a car and I'm lane drifting and stuff. It's like, just fucking stop. It's not that important. It's not that fucking important. No matter what text you're getting, it's not that fucking important. You need to chill out on it. Because, I mean, again, it could kill you. Anyways, using big words. You know how when some people use these like huge words like onomatopoeia, that's probably a pretty bad example. I actually get these emails that says what, like special big words, and it teaches you what they mean and all that stuff. So I read some of them and I started thinking about it, man. Like, why can't like all these big words have a meaning that can be simplified? Like this one, vicissitude. Or no, vicissitude? Vicissitude. A change of circumstance over time, especially in one's life. Like, wouldn't that be maturity? Why can't you just say maturity? Why do you have to say vicissitude? It's like all it does is it makes you seem a little bit smarter. But then the person you're talking to, if they don't understand the word, it holds no weight. It's like you say that word, and then you have to sit there and explain it to somebody like you're high and mighty and better than them. They're like, oh, I can't believe you don't know what vicissitude means. It actually means more like maturity. It's like, well, then why didn't you just say maturity? Why do you have to say these big-ass words like you're something? Like you still work a 9-to-5 job. Like your house is just as big as mine. You're not smarter because you know vocabulary. And I mean, it comes off like that some people are like, yeah, they're way smart, man. He has such a good vocabulary. Great. That's awesome. You should. But when there's a word, like, this is hard to explain, but I mean, if you're just that guy that comes in there and uses all these big words to try to pretend like you're something special, stop. Because if you continue, we're going to keep getting these weird-ass words. Like this one says, this vicissitude, says it's from the 17th century. I have a hard time believing that. I think they just made this shit up. I think they just made it up. Like, yeah, it's from the 17th century because it has like a bunch of vicissitudes. It sounds really fancy, right? Like you have to say it with your pinky out. I'm kind of just rambling on about this kind of bullshit, huh? Whatever. Anyways, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of stuff to talk about this week. I'm trying to save a lot of the other things for Andy and I's episode for this next one. So this is just to kind of hold you guys over for a moment. I also do have some like sports news. I guess there's Hamilton, like Lewis Hamilton from Formula One. He's talking about, well, I guess he's not talking about, but Ferrari is talking about going after him and maybe picking him up for the 2021 season, which was that'd be pretty awesome to see. But he's already come out and said like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna stick with Mercedes, and so I mean, more power to him. Oh, this was one of the things I wanted to mention to you. Since Thanksgiving is just ended, Christmas is around the corner, and of course, people are going out Black Friday, Cyber Monday, getting all these great deals and whatnot. The Ring Video Doorbell, I saw a pretty haunting article about this thing. It was like this Ring Video Doorbell camera. Apparently, they have had ties with like local law enforcement. And I mean, don't necessarily like just have ties. I mean, like they're selling video and data to authorities. And then also, they're super easy to hack, apparently. So somebody can turn that video camera on. I think they're always on. I'm not sure. But they can turn that video camera on and get a direct link to the feed of your front door. They can also pick up the microphone, and none of the data on that Ring Video Doorbell is like secure. It's not encrypted. It's an Amazon product. Amazon bought Ring Video Doorbell for like $1.8 billion a while back, and ever since then, they've been pushing this whole "I'm going to record everything you say" kind of vibe. And I guarantee if you go to buy this Ring Video Doorbell, they're probably going to have some kind of special Black Friday, Cyber Monday package where it comes with a free Amazon Alexa. Because they want Amazon Alexa in every single part of your home, car. They want to be on you. They want to listen to everything you say. And I'm not just making this shit up. It's real. They have an Amazon Echo Ring. Not like a Ring Video Doorbell. I mean a ring, like a wedding ring that you put on your finger. You tap it on the side, and you can talk to it on a ring. Like, you don't think they're recording that shit? Recording everything you say. You have a secret meeting. You're like, yeah, I'm leaving the phone in the car. I'm going to just wait. Guess what? You still got your ring on, and you forgot. It's listening to everything you say. They're taking all your information, and then they're selling it to either better advertise for you or giving it to local law enforcement to stop you from this is like that. What was that movie with Tom Cruise? He's got it's like this police force. They stop crime before it happens and shit. Minority Report, I think it is. It's almost like that now. They're just listening to what you say so they can stop it. It's privacy being... It's safety, security, being paid for by your privacy. And it's just going to keep happening until we stop buying this shit. But we are, because convenience apparently is outweighing your privacy. Because, if you're like, no, I'm going to keep it private, you can't. Everybody has a smartphone. Guess what? That thing's listening to you. They're sending your data to other companies. Facebook, Google, Amazon, everything. Why do you think Amazon is trying to sell these Echoes for so cheap? Because they want it in every room in your fucking house. They're giving it... You sign up for like Time Warner Cable or whatever it is in the Spectrum. You sign up for Spectrum or for Dish or for DirecTV. You get a free Amazon Echo. Sometimes 2 or 3. They just want it in your house somewhere so they can listen to you. They're just like, yeah, we don't listen to you. It's private. Bullshit. They've already been to court probably 12 times, testifying that, yes, they listen to us. They sell our data. They even have people listening to these recordings. They've listened to people having sex. They've listened to people just talking. They've listened to people having drug deals. It's... That's the thing. You're just slowly giving up all of your privacy for the sake of convenience. And now it's including home security cameras. You have a home security camera that is now listening to you and tattling on you. The home security camera that you bought that was supposed to secure your house is now making you more vulnerable. And I think the Ring video camera is pretty damn popular right now. I know there's a lot of other alternatives. I found one that has all of it is on local storage. Like, it's all stored on the device. And they're like, yeah, it has no internet connection. There's no cloud. There's no nothing. It's like, but how do you know that? Like, how do you actually know it's being all stored on the device? Because if you go pull it apart, I don't know what the hell I'm looking for to see, because the chips are so damn small nowadays. I don't know what to look for to say that's a radio. That's a radio chip. They're talking to the fucking cloud. This one says there's no internet connection. There's no cloud service. There's everything stored on device. Everything. There's no monthly subscription service. It's like some kind of off-brand. But guess where I found it? On Amazon. So you think Amazon is going to sell you something that they're directly competing against them without being able to at least get your data? I have a hard time believing it. Technology is excellent. It's great. It's what I'm using right now in order to talk to you. Excuse me, but there's a small thing that you have to give up. And it's little by little by little. It's so incremental that most people don't even notice it. You're literally giving away. At some point, you're gonna have, if you don't already, you have a camera in every room of your house, including your bathroom. a camera, and a microphone. You're literally bugging your own house. Every time you buy an Amazon Alexa or you have an Alexa, now they have Amazon Alexa for the car. You know, eventually they're going to start putting Amazon Alexa in your food, like the Amazon Alexa pretzel. Every time you take a bite, it listens to how you chew, and then they can sell you whatever kind of food. They know what kind of teeth you have, so they can say, oh, he doesn't like chewy food. He likes soft foods. We're going to start selling him cakes. You know, it's going to get to that. That's the thing. It sounds ridiculous now, but if I went back 10 years and said, yeah, I mean, there's a microphone and a camera in everybody's room and everybody's house. They listen to everything you say. They've gone to court. They've said, yeah, we've been selling it. We promise not to do it again. And then they just go right back to court the following year. And nobody seems to really give a shit. You know? Like, I'm pretty sure that this device I'm recording into my computer, I'm pretty sure if somebody really wanted to, they could get this audio recording and sell it, take the keywords out of it and sell it to like, oh, he doesn't like Amazon Alexa. We're going to still try to sell him one. Here's one for free. It just shows up in the mail, and I'm just like, I guess I'll try it. Yeah, it seems pretty cool. Now you have all these like watches and stuff, like the Apple Watch, these Google Watches. They even have cups, I think, like smart cups for like coffee. I don't know if it talks to you. I'm pretty sure it could. But I mean, you have all, just everything is becoming smart. I think they had like a, what was it? The smart, I saw something that was absolutely ridiculous. So I was like, you got to be shitting me. It was like a smart, what was it? I'll have to look it up and talk about it in the next episode. But yeah, everything's smart nowadays, and it's not, when something says smart, that usually means, yeah, we're selling your shit. We're taking all your data and we're selling it to somebody. We're selling it, like Facebook has all your data. Amazon has all your data. So it's like, you know, what do you do? Because if you don't have these things, you're then shunned, and now you're missing out on some of the cool stuff. You're like, yeah, but I'll give up some of my privacy. I don't know, man. Last little story I want to talk about real quick is here in Austin, we have a homeless problem. I know this is going to be kind of, I guess this is going to part some people, but a while back, Austin passed a bill allowing public sleeping and camping. So there's been a lot of homeless camps that have been popping up everywhere in Austin, under all kinds of bridge. And it's littered with trash. Like, downtown looks like shit. Because because the thing is that they passed a law. It's like, oh, let homeless people do what they want, man. But you got to understand, you're not helping the homeless people by just letting them sleep on the street. You're actually exacerbating the issue. Like, it's not like at least to some people, it's not a choice to be homeless. At least, to most people. Some people choose to be homeless, and they're just like, fuck yeah. But it's a mental health problem. A lot of the homeless people that are out there that are just sleeping in the streets have mental health problems that they just sweep under the rug. They're just like, yeah, just let them sleep on the fucking under the bridge, man. Just leave them alone. Let them do what they want to do, man. But you can't just let people with mental health problems just sleep on the fucking street, man. You gotta. I know they're building like a homeless shelter, but most homeless people don't stay in the shelter, especially when they have the freedom to just sleep on the fucking street with a tent. And the people that drive by every day, giving them money. Like, here's $10. I did my good deed for the day. You just gave them money to continue to stay on the street. You're not helping. You're not helping homeless people fix their problem. You're just pouring gasoline on the fire. Like, if you really want to help, try to get them into a homeless shelter. Or at least, like, don't give them money. Maybe give them food. I don't know. I don't see how you would be able to win in that situation, because now that they're allowed to sleep on the streets and under the bridges and stuff, one, it makes the city look terrible. And every time we have ever tried this shit, where we allow homeless people to just sleep wherever, it fails miserably. And then they go right back to cleaning the shit up, which they already have. In downtown Austin, they've already started cleaning shit up. Like they've started taking down homeless camps, and they've had, of course, protesters. But it's like they don't understand the true problem. The protesters, I mean. If you clean it up and you keep kicking them out, like eventually, at least what I would think is eventually they would have to go to a homeless shelter, right? Because I know they can't just sleep in like a hidden place. Like they'd want to actually go to a place to sleep. Like you'd want to go to a homeless shelter to have a roof over your head instead of just sleeping in the fucking woods, right? I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know. Luckily, I've never been homeless. But most of the homeless people that I've met and seen and talked to have at least some sort of mental health issue. And instead of tackling that, we're just letting them sleep wherever they want. Again, you're just exacerbating the problem by letting them continue to be homeless. It's like, just help them out, man. Anyways, I think that's it for the podcast, but I'm going to give you guys the awesome song of the week. It's been stuck in my head a lot lately, so I'm going to play the music, and then we'll end the episode here. So this is, again, the awesome song of the week. It's called Tapping Out by Issues. Here we go.
Got me in a headlock with the blame and the names that you call me. And when you know you're wrong and you're sorry, bitch, I had a long day, back up off me. You get the spitting all up in my face, about to say some shit that we just can't erase. My heart is moving at a fast pace. Hey, yeah. And now the gloves off, I'm against the ropes. I wanna break it up, but then I choke. Ooh, someone call the take the pressure off of me, and now you're popping off with the low blows. So I'm tapping out now, suffocating, can I get out? All this drama breaking me down. So I'm tapping out now, weight is getting heavy, ooh. Try to make it one last round, but I'm tapping out now. We would start over, put it all in the past, getting older. But you're taking all these shots at me, I warned ya. I'm tired of the pressure on my shoulder. And now the gloves off, I'm against the ropes. I wanna break it up, but then I choke. Ooh, someone call the referee. Take the pressure off of me, yeah. And now you're popping off with the low blows. So I'm tapping out now, suffocating, can I get out? All this drama breaking me down. So I'm tapping out now, weight is getting heavy, ooh. Try to make it one last round, but I'm tapping out now. I trusted you, if only I could see, wishing for your love was so foolish of me. Acting like you're somebody I don't know, and now you're somebody I don't know. Can you say you tried? Truly I trusted you. How fucking foolish of me. Tapping out now, suffocating, can I get out? All this drama breaking me down.
All right, there it was. Issues tapping out. So I absolutely love that song for some reason. At least this week. And I'll drop another song next week. Hopefully this thing doesn't get flagged for having music in it. Either way, I'm going to go watch the rest of the Packers game. I'm going to watch them beat the shit out of the Giants. So thank you guys for listening to the Pull It Back podcast, and we'll talk to you guys later this week. Take care.